Hey, good morning, Facebook. It's Gerry from Rythmia. I'm going to let traffic build for a minute or two, talk a little bit about Rythmia, and then get right into the message for today. And I can see this table shakes that. The message for today, and then everything that entails. So I'm going to ask you if you think there's someone that might, hey Zillan, if you think there's someone out there, hey Jen, that might need this or benefit from it, then I'm going to ask you to share it because Facebook has its own rules and doesn't do things like they used to do. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about Rythmia. Rythmia is a life advancement center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica, in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful part of this beautiful country. And hi, Angela. And what makes Rythmia unique is that we believe in a particular modality that is focused on soul merger. And a soul merger, or soul reclamation as some cultures call it, is an ancient concept. It's nothing that I discovered. That happened to me, that I decided to build a place and replicate that happening for other people. To date, we've had about 7,500 people through the doors, and about 95.06% of them, that's 956 out of every 1,000, have had the same thing happen to them, and it's changed their life forever. And how do I know that? Because we give them an electronic survey when they leave, a survey at 10 days, a survey at 6 months, and we track them. The best part about this kind of merger is that 6 months later, 97.55% of the people that have come here said it's still working in their lives. It's a change that is forever, forever. Also, Rythmia has just become the #1 customer-rated TripAdvisor resort of any type in the world. This little place in Costa Rica with over 1,200, what do you call them? 1,200 whatever they reviews. This has become the #1 rated resort in the world of any type because of this thing. So I got, I don't know, at least, I don't know how many emails a day about asking about the coronavirus. So let's just talk about it for a second, and then I'm going to get off it into your relationship with the coronavirus. Something completely different. So if people are asking for predictions, I'm a math guy. This looks like a 17% infection rate, a 0.26 to 0.86, 0.26 to 0.86 mortality rate. It looks like it's going to peak in April, and then the return will be as quick as it got here. It'll be over before you know it. And I really mean this. It will be over before you know it. And that's the talk that I want to have with you today about this whole experience. A lot of you say, a lot of you that have never done plant medicine say, what is a plant medicine journey like? It's like this. This is a plant medicine journey for those that can't get plant medicine. It's pushing you through the same darkness. It's doing the same stuff. It's the most beautiful thing. Now, this is just a virus. This isn't a famine. This isn't a plague. So imagine how delicate life is. If this is just a virus and look what it's doing, and then imagine what could happen or could have happened. Imagine how delicate life is. And once you get with that feeling of how delicate life is, now all of a sudden you can become appreciative of this life. And that's the beautiful thing. I'm going to tell you this. Do not miss this opportunity. I can promise you all one thing. Each and every one of you who are looking at this right now, at some point between now and the day that you die, are going to be wishing for these days back. What did I say? I said it. That all of you, every single one of you who's watching this, between now and the day that you die, will wish for these times back. Absolutely. So let's not miss it by coming out of ourselves over it. Let's not miss this opportunity. I'm not gonna miss this opportunity. I'm gonna talk about not missing it today. Stop pointing fingers. The moment that you point your finger to the Democrats did it, the Republicans did it, the capitalists did it, the socialists did it, The weak did it, the strong did it, the Chinese did it, the Arabs did it, the who did it, the da 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 da. You fuck you. Do you understand that? You screw yourself. The moment that you take and point the finger to someone else, you miss this whole thing. And then your 3, 6, or 10 weeks in captivity will be the worst time of your life. The absolute worst time of your life. You're going to be in victim consciousness. Oh my God, look what they did to me. And you're going to miss the whole thing. You're going to miss the whole thing. And by God, please don't miss this opportunity. Please do not miss this opportunity, because it's going to be gone before you know it. Come May, June, we're going to be coming out of it, and everybody's going to be focused on new stuff, da 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 da, and we're going to forget about this stuff. And I do not want you to forget about this stuff. Then the whole thing was in vain. So let's talk about it. This is a chance to accept personal responsibility. This is a chance to review. There's so much gold in here. There's gold in your relationships. There's gold in your business you're going to find. Because you have time to be at peace and present with all of the things in your business. And you can look at it and say, this no longer serves me. This no longer serves me. This is good. This is true. And your business can come out of this a whole different, leaner, more productive type of business. The same thing with yourself. This no longer serves me. This is where I'm screwing up. This is what I'm doing wrong. This is this. This is that. And I got to tell you, I get mad at Facebook sometimes when I see people that are blaming other people. I have one guy who I'm actually trying to help, who's been here before, and he's constantly fighting with himself, but he refuses to see it. And he can refrain from posting something about someone else for about 45 minutes, maybe a half a day, but then it comes out. And then he says that he's doing it to protect his brothers and sisters. He's missing the whole thing. The war will wage on with himself. So the first thing we got to do is surrender. Surrender to it, just like in a journey. This is what's going on. This is what's going on. Now let me make the best of it. How do I make the best of it? Number one, it's not sitting there drinking beer and eating Cheetos. That's not going to help anything. As a matter of fact, you might need a bigger door in your house to get out after the quarantine if you decide to go that way. That is not it. How is it? How can we do this? Well, the easiest way to do it is to point it at ourselves, to look at ourselves and say, okay, what part of me is not right? Boom. What part of me is out of sync with nature? What part of me is not working? And to really, really do this, I'm going to tell you something. People pay us a great amount of money to come here for a week where they're not near anybody else so that they can do this work, and now you're getting the gift of being able to do it from your house. To do it from your house. And what does it all start with? Some of you are going to wait for the end of this quarantine period, and you're still not going to have done it. You cannot do it this way. You have to do it now. And by do it now, what do I mean? I mean, take out a piece of paper and get alone in your house and just sit there and say, what is the truth about me? What is the truth that I don't want to see? What is this temporal earth truth? And then once you get these truths about you, then you can offer this to God. These are my truths. I offer it to God and give it a chance to get healed and to merge back with yourself. And from that merged place, make all kinds of beautiful decisions for when this is over. From this merged place, to make all kinds of beautiful decisions about when this is over. How do I want my life to look? What the fuck is important to me? Here's the most beautiful thing. All of a sudden, you get to see what's important to you. And you know what it is? It's your relationship with yourself, your God, your family, your neighbors. This is what's important. This is what's important. And once it's over, what I want you to do is I want you to write those things down of what's important. And when this is over, don't abandon that. I wrote a prayer to me. I wrote a prayer to me about actually praying to the virus that I'm probably too embarrassed as a person to put it out there, because if you see how I wrote my prayer to the virus, I prayed to it and thank it every day. A lot of people wouldn't understand it and would probably get offended. They wouldn't understand it. Hey, Melissa, they wouldn't understand it and they'd probably get offended. How can you thank this virus? And there's so many ways I can thank it. Anyway, again, pretty soon this will be over. This is a lot like a ceremony. Merge with yourself, then examine your business, examine your life, examine your relationship with your family, and there's gold all over the place. Here's the thing. Don't be so uptight that you miss the gold. And as soon as you start saying these other people did it, you're screwed. You are screwed. Everybody wants someone to blame. Oh, this happened to me. Poor me. Thank God for this. This is a gift. This is a gift. It's a gift. It's a chance at a new life. This is the chance we've all been waiting for, including me. Holy God, I found out so much about myself that I never knew during this time, and it's not over yet. In an ayahuasca ceremony, I'm calling this, we're at the first drink. In April, it's going to get worse. That's the second drink. And by the end of April, it's going to taper off, and then things are going to be looking up. And once things start looking up, everybody's going to say, oh, forget what I learned. I'm off to different things, and you're going to waste this. I don't want you to waste this. I don't want you to waste it, right? So going forward, as soon as we go forward, we want to take those things that became important to us and keep them going in our life. We want to take those things, and I have to tell you what, this is your chance. This is your chance. Please don't waste it talking about blame. Please don't waste it talking about the Asians started it. Please don't waste it and think to yourself some ridiculous bullshit about if we had socialized medicine, it wouldn't have been this way. Please stop this shit. Stop it. Stop it and come back to me. You know what? This is a chance. Mother Nature gives us 2 feet and a heartbeat. That's what we get. We're not owed Medicare. We're not owed food stamps. We're not owed somebody handing us jobs. We're not owed any of that shit. This is 100%. The gift is the gift of life, and life is so incredibly rich and beautiful. That is the gift that we're given. The rest is on us. Like a plant medicine journey. Half of the work is done by the plant medicine, half of the work is done by you. Half of the gifts were given by God, whatever God is, and half of the gifts we have to contribute, not take, contribute. This is about a chance to realign with personal responsibility. Things that are not too happy talked about are very commonly talked about. This is a chance for us to become responsible again. Responsible to who? Responsible to what? Responsible to each other. Responsible to myself. Responsible to my community. Responsible to my neighborhood. Responsible to my brothers and sisters. This is a chance for me to be responsible. And I want to tell you something. I found something else out here. The reason everybody's so crazy, and when I mean crazy, I mean divisive. They're these people, that people, these people, that people. I want to tell you what, I'm so dumb. It took this to figure it out. You know what it is? It's algorithms. So all of a sudden, you search something that you have a particular opinion about, and then from that point on, that's the only opinion that you're given in your media. So all of a sudden, everybody fucking is sure that they're right. And this is the whole problem. Everybody is so sure that it's someone else's fault. And because they've searched something, it's these people's fault. All they get is stuff, it's called confirmation bias. All they get is stuff to support their opinion. And they get nothing else. And all of a sudden, it's us against them on every subject that there is. And we're all in different camps. And this is poison. It's poison. 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 This is the poison pen. This is it. This is the poison. So I'm going to tell you, do yourself a favor. Look for someone else's point of view. Take this time to broaden how you look at things and look for someone else's point of view. I don't care what side you're on. Look for someone else's point of view. And then look at yourself and find out what has been wrong in you. If you want to take something away from this, take this. A chance for a whole new life. Do you understand this? I can tell you something. I got to tell you, in my prayer to coronavirus, I thank it. I thank it. I thank it. My prayer to coronavirus is huge, and I read it every day. And I wasn't going to fucking give this to people, but I'm going to. I made a decision I'm going to. But the thing that I thank it for, I thank it for coming into my life because I was not aware enough at that point. I was so busy thinking that I was helping other people that I turned my back on myself. And this thing gave me the chance to sit here and to see the big gaping holes in myself. And I emerged. And to do that from a merged point of view, to have all of this abundance at my fingertips and to contract into something I never would have seen if it wasn't for this virus. Never. And it's not over yet. Every day that I'm alone, and that I don't circulate with new people and it is even further contracting on me in the most beautiful way. Such great sadness, such great understanding is all happening because of this virus. So I thank this virus for coming, because I wouldn't have had this chance. I would have just kept going and going and going. I wouldn't have had this chance. So I'm going to ask you for the same thing, to take this chance and not miss it, to sit down and tell yourself the truth, and then to look at all the beauty you have in your life. Here's the greatest thing. All the beauty. And people are talking all the time about, well, the beauty is, I want to hear, what do you guys want for appetizers? And that, fuck that. That's not the beauty of life. The beauty of life is that you have this relationship with you and you can breathe air. And you can be and you can feel. This is the beauty. It's pointing it back to this, that we've turned our back on ourselves and on nature. Now all of a sudden we get to see, and you are nature. You don't have to go for a walk in the woods. Look at you. You are nature. You are nature itself. Beautiful stuff. And you didn't leave. You almost lost you, but you didn't. You got a chance to get you back, and now we can go back in the world in a different way. This is the whole beauty. And the sooner that you get this, the sooner it's going to be over for you. I want you to catch that. The sooner that you get this, the sooner it's over for you. And what do I mean by that? The moment that you start thanking this thing for being here, your experience of being in quarantine changes. You're free. So it's the Nelson Mandela. The moment you thank it for being here is the moment you're free. It's over for you. It continues for someone else, but it's over for you. Do you get it? And then to say not only thank you, but I'm going to make the most of this, just like my life. I'm not owed anything from it. I'm going to make the most of it because I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm going to do the work that I'm being called to do from myself to return me to me. Boom. That's it. You do that, this will be the most joy that you've had probably in the past 20 years. This could be the most joy you will ever have in your whole life. This could be the thing that you're crying about, that, oh, those were the days. Do you remember those days in quarantine when I had nothing to do but be with myself and help myself? Holy fuck, and now I have to pick up the kids and go to school and fucking fix the refrigerator, get my husband to bowling, all this shit. These are the days. These are the days. These are the golden days. This is the dawning of the age. These is the start of it. This is it. Let's change each other. Let's do it together. Let's honor our families. Let's honor the people around us. Let's honor ourselves. Let's honor nature again. Let's honor nature again. Everybody talks about nature and fucking looks outside themselves. That's the fucking craziest fucking thing. You are nature. You're it. You're the example of your walking nature, your walking God. It is you. Let's honor nature again. Let's have a walk in nature. Right there. Beautiful stuff. So I'm going to tell you guys later on, I'm going to post this prayer. And I think it's a prayer that you should all do. I want to thank coronavirus. Thank you, coronavirus, for these things. Thank you for allowing me to see myself. Thank you for giving me this time. And I don't care if it was coronavirus's intention. That doesn't fucking matter. That doesn't matter to me. You know why? Because the nature that God, the God in me is opportunistic. The God in me is opportunistic. So I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to see myself. I don't care what coronavirus's intention is. I want to thank it for being here. In other words, somebody accidentally drops $10 million into your room and there's no trace of it and you don't know where it came from or any of this shit. I don't sit there and focus on where the fuck it came from. I just say thank you to it for showing up. Same thing with this. Why is not important. How it affects me and how I respond to it is ultimately important. As a matter of fact, it is the only thing that's important. The only thing is how it relates to me and how I respond to it. So this is the thing. Yeah, this is the thing. So thank you, coronavirus, for allowing me to realize that I turned my back on nature, I turned my back on my neighbor, and I turned my back on myself. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to right those wrongs. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now, if you do that, guess who's free? Guess who's no longer in quarantine? You. How beautiful. And then to celebrate this freedom, with ourselves, with each other, with our family. Call your mom. This is the time. This is it. This is what it's giving us. So listen, you can make it anything you want. And here's the problem. This is what I pray for. And this is what I cry about. Most people are going to go through this whole fucking thing and miss the whole thing. This was a chance to right the world. And all we had to do was look within and take responsibility. All we had to do. And what's everybody doing? Pointing to this. I'm going to protect my brothers. I'm going to point to this one. Stop that shit and go into you. Go into you and fix you, and then make a promise of responsibility. This is an uncommon talk, but make a promise of responsibility to the world. Not what you can get from it, but what you can give to it. And I'm going to promise you, I'm going to promise me, Gerry, I'm going to promise you that I'm going to walk through the world in a different way. I'm going to promise my brothers and sisters that I'm going to walk through the world in a different way. This is my promise. And what am I going to get out of it? Fucking nothing. Other than the feeling of knowing that I did my part. The feeling of knowing that I tried my hardest to get to me. The feeling of knowing that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. The feeling of knowing that I'm participating in love and I'm giving without the hope of getting. I'm just here to give this shit. And all of a sudden, guess who's full? Me. All of a sudden, guess who's free? Me. All of a sudden, guess who could be free in this next breath? You. This is the beauty of this thing. So I want to first say thank you, guys. I want to tell you to make this time so precious because you're going to be begging for these times back. I promise you that the day is going to come, each one of you, before you die, and you're going to be wishing for March 31st of 2020 to be back. No shit. Yep. Fact. So know that. Be smart enough. Sometimes we're being called to be smart. Be smart enough to know that these are the days. These are the days of your life. These are the times you're going to want back. And to do the right thing with it. This is it. All it's asking us is to examine ourselves. That's the only thing. Huh? All it's asking us is to do that. Everything got too fucking out of control, and it's an opportunity to bring it back. I love you guys. Please take a look at this. Please share this, because so many people are so confused by this thing. And the thing is what we got to do is we got to unite. The people of the world have to unite and stop pointing at other people. We have to bring it back to ourselves. Point to yourself. Take responsibility yourself. Act responsible. Think responsible. Love responsible. Do the work like a responsible person. And stop looking for shit to be given shit. Fucking let's do it. Let's do this together. Until next week, I love you guys. I can't wait to see you at Rythmia. You know what to do? As crazy as this sounds, if this kind of talk, if this kind of way of looking for life, looking at life is you, you're a Rythmiite. What is a Rythmiite? It's someone who merged with himself and who promises to bring love forward in the world. You got to get here. You know, and with all this craziness, call up and book in. Book in for June. We're going to be slammed. July, August, we're not going to be able to get in. Get here and let's go through life together as a unified front of love. Fantastic. I can't wait to see you guys here. God bless you. I will talk to you next week. Keep the faith. Keep in yourself and set yourself free right now. God bless you guys.